So if you've never been on a call before, this is Geek Out Fridays. This is our Mastermind content marketing automation call that we do bi-weekly. And we welcome you to the call if you're new to it. If you're a old hand and you've been here a while, then you've got something special in front of you here. So today, we are going to take some time out from all the other tricks and tips and strategies that we've been sharing. And we're going to answer some questions. Now, I did submit a form to you both in all the social accounts and via email asking for your questions. So we've taken all those questions that people have submitted ahead of time, and we've also gone back to our support desk asking Wayne, what are the most common questions? So we're going to try to answer these common questions, try to answer your very specific questions. Then if we have time at the end of the call, we'll take on some just questions that you've had during the call itself, okay? This is not specifically about how to do how to set up a workflow for RSSMasher, but we're going to go over some ideas and strategies that will kind of lead to everything. If you haven't watched it yet, we have a Mastermind series on Facebook. I'll share the link as we go, but that is a complete walkthrough of the software. We had 3 days of very intensive training lasting about 2 hours each day. And then we even threw in a bonus day of how to start from scratch, building a complete website through. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, that is a great Facebook series to watch. It doesn't cost anything. You just join and I'll let you in and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and start the slideshow. Any comments, Wayne, before we get started?
No, just watch for the questions that are coming up. Some of them are actually being pulled from the support, which show up quite a few times. And I'm sure somebody on the call has probably got the same problem. But no, just follow ahead. And if you've got a question that we haven't answered, then keep it at the end and we'll try and fit it in.
Yep. Okay, so let's get started. So the question was how to do this in RSSMasher. And it was kind of prompted by one of our guys, I think Greg's on the call, had a question and wanted more specific training. Well, guys, we've got, I hate to admit this, we probably have over 40 hours of videos training on how to do RSSMasher. We've gone through 2 different Mastermind courses. We've added new products and we keep on adding new features. So if you ever need training, we do have it inside of our VidPenguin productions. The problem that we run into a lot of times is there's too much training. People feel overwhelmed. So that's kind of why we did the Mastermind series. If you want to focus your time, learn RSSMasher, nuts to bolts, that Mastermind series is probably the best one to walk through. And then you'll have questions as you start using RSSMasher. The best way that you can learn RSSMasher is to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the show here. Okay, we had one question, very good question. Can you show us a 50,000-foot view of setting up RSSMasher for a new WordPress site? Well, absolutely, we can. And so, yes, and I'm going to keep on pointing back to this Mastermind series, okay? We also have show notes inside of a Notion doc, and this is the Notion doc here, and Wayne will drop a link in there if you kind of, if you want to see that. He'll also drop the link in for the Mastermind. So as the links come up, you'll see them in the chat. At the end, we'll give you a list of all the links in a text file, and you can save it and mark them. But I want to show you, this is where you find the training, the very specific training on Mastermind, and then the show notes, okay? But I wanted to go through a basic overview so you can kind of see how everything is all put together. So this is RSSMasher. We mash, we schedule, and we post, and we syndicate, okay? And in the between is we can do mashes between all this content. So You can put in website feeds. These are your RSS feeds, YouTube feeds, Article Forge. Soon it will be AI Masher. You can add in there also. You can add your own content in there. Listicles. This is a great way to do a top 10 list because we randomly rotate your list. Helpful content. If you're not using helpful content on the bottom of your post, you may be missing out and you may be getting de-indexed because of the helpful content update. So we try to do a lot of helpful content for all our posts, and we've got training completely on how to do it. If you get the API Club, you even have an importer built in for both of these, and we show you how to do that inside of the Geek Out Fridays. Okay, YouTube search. If you want trending videos to be dropped in your blog post all the time, this is a perfect way. It pulls trending videos every single day. Google Sheets. If you have another source of content and you want to use Google Sheets, and for instance is I use Feedly. You may have heard me talk about my Feedly to G Sheet method. Well, I go into Feedly, I move things to a board. Once it hits the board, I have a Zapier that puts it into a G Sheet for me. And then I pull the G Sheet into RSSMasher, okay? Now, all we do is we mash them together. We'll add 2 or 3 of these together. We'll put some citation links. We'll put some images. If you want to replace images, we do all that inside of this box, okay? Then once it's created and it's activated, then you can pull it with the schedule. And the schedule is what we call our turbo scheduler. Is you can set how many times per day you want to post into your WordPress site or your Masher site. These are our 2 main CMS sites, WordPress and Masher, okay? And then we have social syndications built off of them, okay? So this is the basic overview. If you get lost, always look back. Don't make it overcomplicated. Now, I'm going to break these boxes down into their individual parts for you, okay? So we still have the feeds, we still have the mash, we still have the schedule, and we're still going to a blog post. But inside the mash, here's the breakdown. We do the setup of the mash, we name it, put it in a folder, give it specific directions. We may even do image replace with Pixabay, Google, or you can put your own images. I use this own images all the time. We could do hooks, money hooks at the top, bottom of a mashup. You can start combining these boxes together. Keyword filtering. If you're doing something on, and I'll give you for instance, if you're doing sports and you only want the Cowboys, then you would filter. I only want to see stuff in the Cowboys if it's in the title or in the content, okay? Anchor text. This is replacing text with anchor text. So we're putting links in there. You can do them one at a time, or you can have a whole list that you can put in at one time. Okay, this is great because it is static linking. It is not a rotational link system like you might have with a Pretty Links or a Rank Math or one of the Yoast tools out there. Okay, we even have advanced where you can do code replacement. You can do text replacement. You can do text removal. So if you get really advanced, we've got training on it. This is really for advanced users, okay? I seldom use this. Wayne, he is an advanced user. He uses it all the time. So we go through the whole gamut. Build and preview. This is how you build your mash. You preview it until you like it, and then you hit finish and activate. When this is activated, it will show up bold in the table, okay? It is ready to schedule. If you don't activate that mash and you put that mash in the schedule, it won't work, okay? So just some helpful tip. So this is the overall view. In the schedule, we go out to webhooks, Zapier, Integromat, and the social networks. We do direct backlinking to your sites, okay? So at the time of post, you can socially syndicate to Twitter, Blogger, and Tumblr, along with sending to webhooks, okay? Very important. If you have the API Club, you can use Spin Rewriter. We have a agency account on it, but this is what we use it for, is Bannerbear. We do smart image cropping. We also use the importer, and we do smart hashtags and emojis. So it's a value add on there. You don't need it, but it does come in handy, especially if you're doing tweets or any type of tumblers with putting emojis in there. Bannerbear, we use it all the time to crop the image perfectly for WordPress. Okay. Now, let's break this down even further. So in the training, in our Mastermind training that we did on Facebook, day one, we talked about auto blogging with RSS feeds, with automated content. Okay. So you would use these 4 boxes: mash, image replace, hookups, and build and preview. Now you can use anchor tags and keyword. I don't know why I didn't highlight those. You can use all these for any of the content. You schedule it, it goes over to the post. So this is everything to do with RSS feed automation. Okay. Day 2, we talked about AI content automation. So Article Forge, we have listicles, and we have helpful content. The one box I didn't put in here is external content. Okay, you can add your own external content. Probably in next couple months, you'll have AI Masher that will just blow your socks off. So you'll go into mash, you'll use the hooks and mashups, anchor text, build and preview. Okay. And I explained how we did all this. Now, we added a feature called local pages. If you've never heard about it, it is local citation pages. It was recommended by Daryl Osborne and Don Roberts. I think Don may be on the call today. And what this does for you is it gives you a local citation page. So you can combine your static links along with expert links that you get from RSS feeds. As far as we know, there's only one other company that can do this, but you can't do it what we can. Is we will do image replacements. We can do hooks and mashups. So you can add article. You can add AI content above your citations. You could put helpful content below your citations. So you can mix it up so it looks like it's a citation page, and it creates a local page for you. The local page is hosted on HTML. It's hosted in our, we've got several different websites that it hosts on, or you can put a custom domain in there if you want to. Okay. With that link is you can embed it into Google properties. Best place to put it is in Google Sites, or you can actually take a local page and add it back into your RSS feed automation or your AI content automation. So a lot of good training in there on how to do it. This is just the breakdown of the workflows. Okay. Next question. Does RSSMasher support other platforms other than WordPress? Absolutely. In fact, we built our own website hosting platform. So see integrations. So inside the inside RSSMasher, you're going to see in a box on the left, it's integrations. Now, I did cut off some of them because they weren't specific to what we're posting to. It's other integrations that don't apply to the post schedule, okay? But you can do Masher sites, WordPress sites. Now, this is WordPress.com or your own sites, okay? Booster pages. You put your API in here and you're connected up to booster pages. AI indexer. Same thing. And we're launching this to the public probably in mid-May. If you're the beta team, you already have access to AI indexer. And we're building stages on with it right now. So we're capturing everything that you're sending to us, and we're going to be pushing it through the stages as we bring them on board. Okay. Booster pages, fully operational. We're building backlinks to the booster pages, creating tier 2s into the tier 1. This being the tier 1, pointing back to your money sites, okay? The other thing that we're going to be adding in May, I hope it's in May, is some more public social engagement activities. Is we're creating what we call an Easter egg hunt. And in the Easter egg hunt, you'll be randomly selected booster pages that will get an Easter egg put onto your booster page. And if people find it from the public, from Facebook, from Twitter, or whatever, and they go in and they tag that Easter egg, our envision of this Easter egg hunt is they'll be added to a contest. And the contest would be a cash contest or a prize contest of some type. So the idea is collect as many Easter eggs as you can. Now, when they click the Easter egg, it goes to a full screen. So I kind of went off subject, but we got some fun syndication that goes in with your WordPress or Masher site. Okay. You can hook up your Twitter. If you want multiple Twitter accounts, I'd recommend using Twitter apps. Wayne has a very good video about how to set up your API developer account so you can add multiple Twitter accounts and you can do retweeting and some other things with if you add that in. Same with Tumblr. You can set up one at a time or use this My Tumblr apps to create multiple Tumblr accounts in there using your apps, okay? A Blogger. People say it's not being used anymore. Well, it probably isn't, but it is a good link. It is a Google property link that you can use, and we highly recommend you using it. Amazon S3, you can create, I may be saying this wrong, you can create HTML pages with Amazon S3. Wayne, is that right?
The Amazon S3 integration is so that if you want to put images into Blogger, there's no API for sending images into Blogger. Mm-hmm. And we didn't want to put, obviously you don't want RSSMasher's server as the image URL because that will be all over the place. So you can create an S3 bucket and we will automatically put the featured image there and then replace the link in the Blogger to point to that image. So all the images go on an Amazon S3. That's why the S3 is there.
Okay, perfect. Integromat, which is now called Make, and Zapier. This is what I use Zapier a lot for. If you have SocialBee, if you have Hootsuite, HubSpot, there's all types of scheduling software that go out to multiple socials at the same time or based on a schedule. Is push it over to your schedulers, okay? Now, it's going to have a backlink to your main properties, but it's also going to have a title, a description, and an image, okay? So I push it from Zapier to SocialBee. And in SocialBee, I go into Facebook groups. I go into Facebook pages that I own or I'm the admin on. So this is how I re-syndicate. And if once I'm in Zapier, I go over to SocialBee, I control everything with SocialBee. So I've got maybe, I think 20, I've got close to 20 accounts on online marketing. I've got 10 accounts on grilling, and I've got probably the same number on survival skills. So those are some of the niches I'm in. And so I have feed content that comes off an RSS feed. It gets posted to my WordPress site, okay? And I have a citation link on that where it originally came from. So I'm citing that RSS post, okay? Properly, given a backlink credit to the author, okay? But when I post it onto socials, it is coming, the link from the social pushes it to my website to read the author's post, okay? Other people's content, OPC, as I call it. And I give them a link back to the original source. So I'm using the socials to bring them back to my site to read somebody else's content. Okay, so that's the idea of why you want to syndicate, but why you want to push it out to socials. Socials are a great way to get traffic, especially if you're doing B2C type of products. If you're doing how-to information articles, people, if it's entertainment, education, or relationships, think of those. Those are the three biggies, or fitness, I guess is the three biggies in there. But if they fit under those categories, you're going to get some social traffic. So just start create a Facebook page, create a Twitter account, and go from there. Okay, so those are the integrations. Finally, we have Omega Indexer. You can continue using that. You can use it in parallel to AI Indexer until we get all our stages. You might, in the next couple of months, may have them both. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. Okay. Next question. Is there an easy way to find RSS feeds? Well, glad somebody asked that. We did a pre-show Notion inside of our mastermind. I gave everybody a pre-show, kind of the homework before you get to the mastermind. And it is quick tips for finding RSS feeds. Here's the Notion doc. Wayne just dropped it in there for you. Okay. Let me show you what a Notion doc is. I want to make sure everybody's kind of on the same page here. I can bring that up. Okay. Here is a Notion doc. This is the main page for the mastermind training, the show notes, as we call them. Okay. Pre-show, show notes. And then here's some other, other things in here, AI prompt. So I gave you some other things you can play around with. Website links we mentioned, AI detectors mentioned in training, recent AI. And, just this is more of a common knowledge, a common body of knowledge there. Okay. So if you go into pre-show notes, these are all clickable links. Okay. Quick tips for finding best RSS feeds. Well, guys, I've got a video. So Wayne just dropped in the video for you. Here's what I do. I use the terms best dog training blogs, RSS feeds, best bookkeeping blogs and RSS, best SEO strategy blogs. Okay. So if I do best human resources blogs, let's copy that. And I'm looking for one specific link in here. And it's right here, FeedSpot. Okay. I have a FeedSpot account, but you don't need to have a FeedSpot account. So what I'm going to do, this is HR news. This is HR. So let's investigate this one. Okay. Here's RSS feeds. You can just start dropping these feeds right here. Here's a news feed. Okay. Here's a news feed. And you would copy that. Okay. Now I'm looking at this. I know how to read it. This is probably not going to be a very good feed. It's going to be a very short feed. Okay. It's not properly formatted either. So let's go down here and, okay, this is a good feed. It's got images. See the description. It's got a lot of content in here. And then here's the end of the item. So this is going to be a good feed. It's got good content. It's more than a sentence. It's actually a full blog post, and it's got a lot of items in here, images. So this would be a good feed to test. Okay. Now, just because they are in here, that doesn't mean you have to put them in your website. I would test every one of them, make sure they're good feeds. You copy it, you place it in RSSMasher, and maintenance and repair of skylights. I'm going to hit edit. I'm just going to edit this. You would just drop that feed in here and you can test it. How do you test it? You can come over here and turn all these off. Just put on here temporary off. And I'm going to drop some feeds in just to test. Okay. So that was the feed right there. I wanted to see what it looks like. I'm just going to copy it, Control-C, come over here and drop it in. Okay. We test it to make sure it's a good one, that it's properly formatted, and then come over here and hit build. Preview web. Okay. So there's the title, there's the description, it's in bold, there's the content, and there's an image. Okay. We actually have local links on the bottom of this, and we have frequently asked questions. So we put money hooks in here. Like I talked about earlier, we're mashing things together. So I have one website feed. This is one RSS feed. I come over here to hooks, and I'm saying I'm going to use a citation. I'm going to use a local mash and helpful content. So citation is, where did this article come from? The local mash is that local page that we're adding to the bottom of this page, and we're doing helpful content, which is a spun version. Now, I know this doesn't make much sense reading it because it's HR news, but I've got skylights. down below, because it was a Skylight article. Okay. So that's how I find RSS feeds. It's the easiest way to find RSS feeds if you're doing your own research. Okay. Here's the other way is, let's come back here to website feed, and I'm actually just going to delete that. We have, I think, 900, no, I think it's over 1,000 now, of RSS feeds that we've researched in the past. That doesn't mean the RSS feeds are still good and active, okay? People change their RSS feed URLs all the time, okay? So if you want something on, I don't know if I've got home improvement, okay? Give it a second, it's gonna look up. Here's some things that we can put in here. So let's put in here Texas Outdoor Oasis. So we've done the research ahead of time for you, and you can use that feed. Let's see, there we go. Okay, come over here to build, no data file. So when you see that right there, that means that it has no current data in the RSS feed. No problem. That one may not be a very strong feed. It may have had some posts a couple of months ago. So just keep on looking for different feeds that you can put in there. Okay. I'm going to delete that one. And I can turn all these back on. I'm just going to put them on 5 posts. This is the number of articles that it will pull at any one time. And no matter what license level, you always have 5 or 10 in there. Okay. And we go over what all this is inside of the training. We have a complete walkthrough on training. And once I'm done, I'm just going to go ahead and hit build. And let's see what it should look like with skylights and home improvement articles in there. Preview web. Expert tips for emergency roof repair. Here's an image. There's our citation pages. So some of these are links that we have, and some are from expert authority links, okay? Here's our frequently asked questions about skylights, citations, how-to article, and then we start with the next one. So a lot of good articles. Some of the feeds have more images than the others, okay? So once you're done, you can hit finish and activate, and it turns that mash on, which was this one right here. And see how they're all, the ones that are bold are on, they're active. If you want to turn it off, you would just hit change active status. So it tells our computer, it tells our server, don't pull any more information on this. If I want to turn it back on, you just toggle the switch down here. Okay. Let's keep on going. I just want to quickly show you that. It's very easy to find RSS feeds. In fact, it's easier than it was a few years ago. Okay. We have the video. Wayne's dropped in the link. I think this is about an 18-minute video. It goes over exactly what I just showed you, maybe in a little bit more detail. Okay. Is there a way to know if my site goes down? Well, if you're new to RSSMasher, you may not even realize it. We have a web monitoring system built in. So you can get an email if your website goes down. And it's called Web Monitor. And I'll show you where it's at. We have training on how to use it. It's pretty easy to use. Dashboard. Wayne, help me out. Where's that Web Monitor? Is it over here?
It's in integrations.
Integrations. Website Monitor. Okay. So you can add your own domain. So authentic Indian food. This is one. You give it the email where you want it to go. You can authorize a different email address if you want to. You turn it on, turn it off right there. You can also change the active status right here. So what this does is it notifies you by email if the site goes down and when it comes back up. Okay. very, very simple to use. You may not have even known it's there. Okay. So another question, why do I get this no data found during build? Well, I showed you, I get it too. This is usually keywords or the feed has no new information. Wayne, can you expand upon this a little bit?
Yeah, you in the mash, you'll notice there's a tab called keywords. And if you go in there and you say, I only want skylights, for example, in the RSS feed from home improvement, it will check to see if every article that comes in, it will check to see if that keyword is in the title or if it's in the description. Now you'll notice on the screen there, we've got the select source. So you can actually like apply the keywords across all the sources. So the website feeds, the YouTube feeds, article, blah, 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 blah. Or you can drop down in the select source and you can say, well, out of the RSS feeds, from the one particular RSS feed, I only want skylights, but from the other RSS feed, I want patios, for example, and you can do that. What you've got to remember is, well, I've checked in keyword filters and there aren't any keywords, but I'm still getting no data found. And that's because you may have, and I've seen people do it, you may have put a keyword on one of the feeds in the list and forget to look. And as you see, I say patios comes up. So you have to get rid of it and then click update. Now the bottom box is negative keywords. So you can actually put keywords in there that you really, really don't want. And the example I used to use was if you've got a gaming site and you've particularly got a website category about Xbox and you've got a category about Nintendo and you've got one about PlayStation, you could put positive keywords, Xbox, and then you could put negative keywords, Nintendo and PlayStation, for example. And then you would only get articles that have got Xbox in them, but don't have the other two keywords in there. So it's a way of like the article might talk about Xbox and Sony PlayStation, and you might only want Xbox. So it would ignore that one because you put PlayStation as a negative keyword, for example. And in this one, we've got skylight. So any keyword, any article that comes in and the keyword skylight is in there, it will accept. But if it's got plumbing in the title as well, which I don't know how it would, unless you're fixing a faucet in a window, it would reject it, for example. The other reason is sometimes the RSS feed never gets updated. And basically, there is no more data from that feed, and that's why you get no data found. You'll notice there's a tick box at the bottom of filters, which is to apply an audit filter. So in the background, we've got lots of unscrupulous words that no one ever wants to see. And if you just don't want anything, I mean, obviously we can't catch everything, but it will prevent a lot of stuff coming across just in case. Very rare that it happens because everyone picks the RSS feeds about a particular niche or category, and everyone knows that that's all that's going to be in there. But that would prevent anything dodgy, inverted quotes, coming across to your website.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Okay, next question. Why do some posts get canceled when posting to Masher sites? We need featured images when we're going across to the WordPress or Masher sites. Any other reasons that post may get canceled so it doesn't go across to the schedule?
99% of the time with Masher sites, it's because there wasn't an image. And because they're so image focused on the homepage, you end up with a particularly a news board, you'd get a block and it would look odd. So we reject it and it comes up as cancelled in RSSMasher. we have since put a feature in where you can reset a cancelled post for it to try again. Because on very rare occasions, going to WordPress or somewhere, if the site's gone down momentarily, it's had a glitch at the same time we're trying to post. Doesn't happen with Masher sites, but it might with the WordPress. And you could try again a bit later, but usually it's cancelled because you haven't got an image. Another reason why a post can get cancelled, and it can sometimes turn the schedule off. So if people have noticed, why is it automatically turn my schedule off? Well, it's noticed that the site's down and it can't get to it. So rather than we keep trying and wasting resources and everything, we'll flip the schedule off and we'll set an alert. So you must pay attention to the bell icon, because if things aren't working, there's bound to be an error up there. And then you can clear them when you've seen them. But a lot of them are, particularly the ones about the RSS feeds, you can kind of ignore those, because RSS feeds are notorious for going up and down. Even big newspaper ones, they get hit so hard that they can't cope with the traffic sometimes of people trying to pull it, and it goes down. So we turn that feed off, which is why we've got in the drop down that you saw earlier, we've got permanently off and temporarily off. Permanently off means it's just off forever and we'll never turn it back on. But the temporarily off, the system uses that so that it can temporarily turn off an RSS feed because it's not getting any response. So in there, you'll see we've got temporarily off and permanently off. So if it notices, say, one of the feeds has gone down and it can't get any response from it, it'll turn it off and it'll give you an alert to say that it's gone down. But because it's on temporarily off, the system will try again 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, whenever we get round to it. It's no more than 10 minutes later, or on your next build of your, dependent on your subscription level.
Yep.
It will then go back in and go, oh, that was temporarily off before. Is it active now? Oh yeah, it's back online now. And it also remembers the number of articles that you chose and it puts it back. So if you had that on 10 and the system turns it on to temporarily off, it will check it, realize it's back, and it'll put it back to 10. So if you see a lot of alerts for this feed's gone down, this feed's back up, this feed's gone down, this feed's back up, you don't really have to worry about those. But if it says this feed's gone down and it's your feed, you might want to pay attention to it. If it's somebody else's feed, you can't do anything about it, really. But at least we're telling you why you may or may not have got regular posts, because the feed's playing up, basically. And you'll see there at mashups.com, responding, not responding, responding, not responding. There's some testing going on there. And that's what you'll get when the website monitors watching it. In fact,
this is a Groove.
That's the sales page, on Groove. So that proves
it's a Groove issue. They were doing a lot of testing on the 7th and 8th, it looks like. So yeah, it's, if you're depending on your site to be up and you keep seeing this, go back to the hosting service and go, hey guys, what's going on? It may be something that is on their side. So we're eventually going to move out of Groove. They have issues like this all the time. So anyway, but like Wayne said, if you keep seeing a feed on, off, switching like this, it is the feed. It's not us doing it, but there's an issue that you may need to address. And you see this JWT, it's not configured properly. I've switched over all my WordPress sites to the new account API app password, and I would recommend y'all do it. And once you do, disable your JWT plugin. Okay, that's the main thing. We got instructions on how to do all this, but go ahead and monitor this. We're letting you know what's going on, but you may just want to visually look at it the last week or so, whenever you come in there occasionally. Okay. I'll just come back over to questions. Okay. My schedule is active. Why is nothing posting? Okay. Both the mash and the schedule must be active. Okay. You notice when I was in and out of a mash, and it happens to me all the time. If I go in and make an edit, okay, I'm going to turn this one on, 6911. Okay. It's on, it's active, it's sending stuff across. I come in and edit it. Okay. And I make some changes, whatever I'm doing, come over here and hit build, test it, and then I go out without hitting finish and activate. Look what happens. 6911 is off. I didn't reactivate it. Okay. So if I have a schedule attached to it, schedule's not going to be sending anything past what we've already sent to it in the data. Okay. So this is the most common thing, is that you come up and you change something in here and you forgot to either finish and activate, or you did something and you jump back out of it. Okay. So to fix it, come down here and go ching, change active status. Okay. This is this is the most common thing of why you're not seeing it in the schedule. It happens to me. It happens to Wayne. We forgot to finish and activate, or we did something and we jumped out of that before we got there.
The reason we do that is as soon as you click edit, it deactivates it, because you obviously want to change something because something's not right. And if you're halfway through editing the mash and it was still active, the server would go, oh, I've come round to this one again now and I need to build. And it'd be building something that's really, you don't want it to build, because you're through changing something or testing something, it's not quite right. So to avoid any build issues on the server side, as soon as you edit one, we deactivate it for that reason.
Yep. Now, if you want to go into this, you go, what feeds did I have on this? If you don't want to even mess with the edit, we've set up this view. So it will see everything. You can't make any changes, but you can come over and go, okay, I've got all these feeds. They're all on. Everything looks good. You come over and you check your hooks. And maybe did I have any images in here? So you would go over to images. Nope, I'm not using any images. Did I have any advanced tab? Nope. Okay. Now, you don't have to come back here. In fact, you can't even build and finish and activate. You're in the view mode. So when I go out of it, it didn't take it off of active. Okay. So if you want a quick look at a mash without changing anything on it, just hit view. And so when Wayne or I are asked about your site, your specific mash is not working or it's not doing what you want, give us the ID number. Okay, this is the ID number. This is a unique ID across the entire system, and then we can kind of research. We'll go in and we'll view it. We won't touch it, and then if we figure out what's wrong with it on view, then we may fix it and send it to you or tell you how to fix it. Okay. Most of the time, the problems come in with you got RSS feeds that are not working. You got keyword filters that I'd say problems that I help people fix. Keyword filters is the most popular problem, most common problem, because you may have set it up on some random or one of the feeds and you didn't realize it instead of all sources. So check that first before you put in a support ticket. Speaking of support, here's training, full training. You can click here and go to our full training. Subscribe to our newsletter. We have a weekly newsletter that comes out. It's about all content marketing. Click here. You can drop a support ticket. You can see whether you have open or closed tickets right here. Okay. And then this is just kind of a dashboard of keeping track of everything. Okay. If you want to double pages, API Club, Here's the roadmap. If you want to add something to a wish list, just come down here and add it. Okay. Updates, same way. If you have a question, a dying question, a burning question in your mind that you need answered, book a call with me. I don't know of how many website creators, product creators, will hop on a Zoom call with you and give you 15 minutes. And as slow as I talk, I usually go 30 minutes. So that will talk with you and show you exactly how to fix things. So don't be, I've got limited time on here. And if you book a time, make sure you show up. Okay. You get one strike and then you don't get on the 15-minute call anymore if you miss more than one appointment. You can easily cancel them. I'm using Calendly. I think I'm switching TidyCal, but it is a very good scheduling system. So, I'll work with you 15 minutes. I can fix just about any problem on RSSMasher. Same goes for any of the other products that we have. So support right here, you talk to Wayne. Support down here, you talk to me live on Zoom. Facebook, we have a Facebook. Don't ask the technical questions that you would have to involve your password, your login, or anything like that. Just come here. Wayne lives in the UK, so if you put something in at 5 p.m. Pacific time on a Friday, don't get upset that it's not answered over the weekend. We're human too. We take the weekend off, but he'll have it answered before you get up on Monday morning, I bet.
Sometimes I answer it on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
but don't count on that.
Yeah. So, we're human. We don't pay a support team to answer your support tickets. We do it ourselves, because if your question, if you're trying to use it, here's our philosophy. If you're trying to use our software, we want to help you use our software. We don't want to put you off and send you off in a wrong direction or watching, a 3-hour video of me talking. If we can answer it quickly, we will certainly do that. And we're here to support you any way we can. This is an advanced program, guys. It is not a JVZoo product. Nothing against JVZoo, but most of those products are not around that I bought last year or 5 years ago. I know they're not around. The original RSSMasher, the base version, came out in 2014. Okay. We rewrote it 2.5, 3 years ago, completely new software. We named it after the original, but it has so much more power and new features are added to it all the time. So we understand if you're overwhelmed. We completely understand that. We are trying any way we can to help you get over that information overwhelm with a Mastermind series with specific step-by-step instructions. We give you a support ticket system here. I will hop on the phone, hop on a Zoom call. You'll see my new Zoom background, so you'll be very impressed. But we want you to learn it. We value our tool, we use our tool, and we build everything off of this one flagship product. Okay, so let's keep on going. How to remove double images on post. This is a common problem. I have it too. So what's the answer? 2 options here. In the WordPress theme setup, I use Zox. I use some of the other builders out there. I think Optimize Press is another one. Divi is another one. Apologize, guys. I should turn my phone off here. But you can set up on WordPress, the actual WordPress theme has the ability to not put the featured image in the post itself. Okay, that's one option. The other option is we have it built into our scheduler so you can avoid repeating that post. I'll show you on that. Is if you're in the schedule, manage schedules, and we're going to let's come down here to dog training. This is probably the most common category there. So I'm going to hit edit, and I'm going to WordPress. I hit edit. Okay. If your theme doesn't have that option, we have that option in here. Use first image as featured image, and then exclude first image from post, okay? So if we're taking your first image, we're making it a featured image, okay? We're sending the featured image over as the post. So some themes will stack the featured image above the post, and some of the posts have the first image above the content. So you would see the featured, and then you would see the first post, or you'd see the first image. That's where it's double posting right there. If you see that happening, it's your theme. It's not us, but we help you out. You can exclude that first image from the post. So we'll take that first image out of your post. We'll convert it to a featured image and send just the featured image and remove that first image, okay? So that's all you have to do to remove it inside of our system. Every WordPress theme, I think, is completely different. Some of them do it. And even your blog post, some of them will put the first image above everything. And some of them, some RSS feeds, the image is kind of buried in the content itself, okay? So keep that in mind. We make this adaptable to whatever theme you're using, okay? While we're in here, you want to upload all images. This puts all the images into your site, okay? Post the content. Well, that's why we're doing this, is you want to post the content. We have it defaulted. I don't think it's defaulted on, but you do want the content, okay? There's a description part and a content. Content is the thing you want to push over. Create tags with Rightly. This will create your smart tags right here, number of tags, or you can put in your own tags right here. If you know this is all about dog training, you can go dog training. This would be a tag that would show up. Spell it right. Training dogs. Okay, however you want to do it. We even recommend, if you want to, see this little MASH ID 4884. You could put that in here. Why would you want that? Well, if for some reason you want to remove all the posts for a certain MASH, you could bring up in your WordPress, bring up any post that has the tag 4884 and delete them. So this might be an option that you want to put in here, okay? Otherwise, I'm just going to use Rightly, create 3 smart tags for it, okay? Spin Rewriter, we have it in there. If you have the API Club, you'll see it. We don't use it. It messes up your HTML, okay? If you're using Word AI to spin it, it's a good spinner, but it still will mess up your HTML if you don't protect it. We show you how.
These are only to spin title and description.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. So these are title and description. You don't need any protection on these, right?
No.
Okay. Omega Indexer, check it on. It's on. Silo this category. This is SEO, internal SEO, is it will make the post and it will point to the post right above it in that same category. If there is no post above it, it points to the category URL, okay? This is what we use API, Wayne and I do, is we go to templates, we're gonna do a smart crop 16:9 for our WordPress, okay? It puts it at 1200 by 630. It is face focused. So if you have one face, it's gonna put the nose right in the center of your featured image. So a lot of these RSS feeds, what you'll notice is some of the images, well, I'd say half of them are portrait, okay? They're tall, like were shot with the phone. So that's why we're gonna smart crop it, okay? And then we hit update and we're ready to go, okay? Everything, just gonna hit cancel, not resave everything. Okay, so that's the 2 options if you have the double image, okay? How do I upgrade? A lot of people, they start off with the basic, which you can start out real easily on a basic. Send in a ticket to Wayne. Just put in a support ticket, say, hey, I want to upgrade to Pro or Advanced, or need something. We're, like I said, we're human. We're not AI robots answering that support ticket system. Occasionally Wayne will send me a support. How do you want to answer this, or can you take this? A lot of times he'll say, hey, why don't you book 15 minutes with Damon? He'll walk you through exactly how to fix everything on workflow. Just keep in mind, Wayne is more the tactician. I'm more the strategist. Okay. So if you have a specific issue that's not working, support ticket. If you want a how-to, book a call with me. I'd love to talk to you. Okay. Where is the training? Well, I showed you earlier. But here's the link: penguinproductions.com/product/RSSMasher technology. Okay. We even have some bonus products whenever you bought RSSMasher in there, but that's where it's at. You click that link right there. It says full training. Click here. You'll be taken to the RSSMasher technology. Okay. And it will look something like this. Okay. Course introduction, software walkthrough, webinars, advanced tips, RSS feed training, bonuses. Okay. And you get to see our lovely pictures in here. Once your questions answered, you've gone through the training, you need to, you can click there, book a call. If you don't have the API Club, you can certainly join it right there. But up here in my library, you'll see other courses that you may have bought through our system. That's why we use one centralized system. And since I'm the creator of all these courses, that's why you see every one of them in here. Okay. And we also have a store. This is more courses than anything else. Autoblog workshop, pro tips on buying and selling domains. You can see little products that we sell in here. Okay. If you want resources, tools we use. I try to keep this updated with recommended tools. Here's our current apps and services: Penguin 2, RSSMasher, Masher sites, a done for you service, Minion builders, booster pages, and this is actually launched. Listicle builder, we don't have a product for it, and we probably won't because it's built into RSSMasher. So if you got RSSMasher, you have the listicle builder. Okay, the ad display network, it is available. We're probably a couple of months away from getting this fully integrated with everything we're doing with RSSMasher and our Masher sites. RSS feed marketing for dummies. It's going to be early 2023. We're going to use a little AI to help us write it, but I've already written an RSS book. I'm going to take a lot of those concepts and update them from, I think I wrote the book back in 2015. So I'm going to update it for Kindle. Okay. Favorite apps, you can kind of see everything that we use in apps here, and it's under tools. So once you're in your library, you can come up here and play around. We even have some blogs and other things. We even have some podcasts if you want to listen on some interviews that we've made. Okay. So let's go back and finish up the questions, and we'll wrap up the day here. Okay. If you prefer to read, we have transcripts from all of the step-by-step guides in here. So I'm long-winded, but tried to clean up the transcripts. They're not perfect, but I put them all together. So if you're a reader, you don't want to watch a video, you could read probably faster than the video. Okay. How frequently do you update the RSS feeds and the built-in niches? Now, what that question was about was specifically if you're in the MASH, and let's do chimney caps. With edit, website feed, this. How often do you update this, Damon? Well, the last full update was probably summer of last year, okay? And I probably need to add more in here. Even if you go with this Damon's top 25, I built this list probably 4 years ago, okay? This is good for pop culture, sports news, trending news. Some of these don't work anymore. Some of them are very short sentences. BuzzFeed I don't think BuzzFeed even works. Life hacks. So test them. I leave them in there because sometimes they come back. A company may reevaluate their syndication and turn it back on. Okay. But I will, if I run across some good feeds, if I'm sitting in here and I run across some good feeds about HR news, I I don't do anything with HR. So if I run across something, I will grab that feed and I will put it in here. Okay. So it's really, I'll add it on occasion, but we'll probably do another add-on on this built-in group within, I'd say within a few months. Okay. So we'll add more content, more niches in here. Just, keep an eye out. YouTube, we have the same thing, have the same categories going across, news and politics. So you can, these are different channels. And with the channel update, I'm sure it still works, but you can choose ABC User News. So you can pull YouTube channels this way, okay? You can also pull it straight from YouTube. Okay. So I'll say every few months, or if I find a good feed, I add it myself, okay? Now, this is the question we get asked all the time, and I'm going to let kind of Wayne add into this. Does RSS copy others' texts? Okay. If you're doing RSS feeds, what RSS stands for is really simple syndication and is designed. It was originally designed to share content from people's websites. It still is designed to share people's content. It is designed to be shared and reposted. It is OPC, other people's content, okay? It is duplicate content. You cannot change the fact it's duplicate content unless you rewrite it, unless you completely, change images, you rewrite the context of it. AI is getting really close to popping a post in there and rewriting it and making it your own. Will we do this? Maybe down the road. Maybe there's AI masher that you feed RSS feeds, we rewrite them. I don't know. But RSS, for the most part, means it's other people's content. You're posting it on your site. It is okay. YouTube, Google is not penalizing you. What they are doing is, if it's from the New York Times and they're the original source of the content, they are going to be indexed higher than you are. Okay. That is true 98% of the time. But we've also proven it true is if you have good, solid content, you're Google News approved, you have a WordPress site, you got 30,000 posts in there, and you're pulling from New York Times or the Sun, your post may get ahead of the original source.
Yeah, okay. I've done that a few times.
And it's interesting is if you're ahead of the Sun Times or you're here ahead of New York Times on an article, you're going to get a lot of traffic. Okay. So what else can you do to, it is duplicate content, add helpful content. Okay. That's a great way. Put a listicle above it or below it. You can do the advanced tab where you can replace content or cut content off. But to me, is I'm going to put a citation source. I'm going to give a link back to the original author. Okay. I'm doing what really simple syndication is. It was originally set up for newspapers so that they could get the news from around the world. So Wayne, can you kind of add into this?
Yeah, the example I always use is, have you noticed on your phone, when you get a notification from Sky News, for example, that, I don't know, it's maybe an NBA player has done something amazing and it pops up on your phone. And then it could be 30 seconds later, 5 minutes later, another news subscription that you've got or another free app that you use. So for me, it would be like the BBC News pops up the same thing. So you go, oh, I've just been told that by Sky News and now BBC News has told me. And then Eurosport tells you. Do you think they've all written their own version of this information, or do you think they use a news feed? I'm pretty sure they use a news feed because most of the time it's word for word the same.
Yep. So keep that in mind. It is OPC, but in fact, somebody asked about real estate. If you're selling real estate, you're building your own WordPress site, and you're in a city, and let's say it's Phoenix, what RSS feeds are you going to put in there? Information about Phoenix. So pull a Phoenix newspaper, get an RSS feed on the sports, the events that are happening, the school districts, any colleges around there, pull that. In fact, these are all good notes from Garen Green. I think he's on the call. But you can localize your WordPress blog post with local feeds. Okay, you're giving information. You don't have to pull from other MLS listings as an RSS feed. You're pulling general information about the city of Phoenix. Why would anybody want to buy a house in Phoenix? You want to give them some good information. And it also makes you an authority on the Phoenix real estate area. So keep that in mind. We use RSS to supplement everything else we're doing. It is OPC, but if you do it right, it is news that people want to read. Okay. How are you using Minions? Well, we use SIM cards and a few VPS. This is not really about RSSMasher, so I gave you a brief answer, but we do have a course. We built a Minion Builders Bootcamp. And if you want to get the 6-week training course that we had, we went in step by step. We even tell you Amazon light cell servers and the different ways that we do this, but we're using SIM cards and VPSs. Okay, so that's about. But this is a great course if you want to build out Minions. We even have a product called minionbuilders.com, which is a database if you want to keep track of all your Minions. Okay. We've had a few people. Do you have a long-term deal instead of paying monthly or annual? We have to pay our bills, so that's why we have monthly. We want to constantly be improving the product. If you have been buying long-term deals in the past, you know that some of these long-term deals, especially with AppSumo, there'll be long-term deals on AppSumo. They get enough money, they basically cash out, they pull off of AppSumo, and then they go to a month. Okay, that's normal workflow. So instead of going out and getting venture capital, they'll fund it by these long-term deal sales. Okay. JVZoo, long-term deals, they don't stick around. They don't turn them into monthlies and annuals, or if they do, they don't support the product. Again, I don't want to bash JVZoo. There are some great products off JVZoo. But if you sell long-term deals all the time, you're constantly having to create new products and pull money out of people's pocket for the new product. You may not fully develop the product. You may, once it's launched, you may jump out of the product and start working on the next product. We want to be, RSSMasher is our flagship. We use it. We constantly want to be improving the product. We have server costs. We have all these costs associated with. This is how we get paid, is monthly and annual. But we have people that will never, ever buy a monthly or annual. So who are they? It could be an agency. And that's really who it is. You got to be serious if you're going to buy a long-term deal. Now, if you're buying betas from us, betas get the very best deal we'll ever have on the product. And I know there's a lot of betas on call. But our beta philosophy is we can't guarantee exactly what the product's going to look like. Okay. So you're taking a little bit of a risk going in as a beta. Okay. That's the idea of beta, but you're also helping us test the product. And so you're getting a really good deal on betas. We don't have any beta offers right now, but if you want a long-term deal, you want to be an agency. This is the only long-term deal that we're selling. It is bitpenguin.link/RSSMasher Ltd. It is a lifetime deal on RSSMasher technology. Okay. It is an agency license. There is no money back guarantee. If you're serious about it, you're not just shopping, shiny object syndrome. You're going to get the API club. You get an agency level. We double your local pages. We give you everything that you would buy as add-ons. Okay. So there is no extra stuff to buy. It's $2,495. It is a lifetime deal. You'll never have to upgrade again, never cost you another dime. Okay. How many people are going to take it? Yeah, probably not a lot on this call, but the people that do take it, I hope you're serious because we want to work with you. I'm going to spend an hour with you. I'm going to build your first site right in front of you. Okay. I'm going to help you along the way. Wayne's going to help you. We want you to be successful. We even give you 3 masher sites that you can build link pins. So you can build social syndication internally. It is a good deal, but it's not for everyone. So if you're at the standard or pro, keep on going. If you feel like you really want to take this to the next level, absolutely, you can go agency. Okay. And we don't make this deal very often, but anyway, that's how you get a lifetime deal. Okay. Now, I'm done with the questions that were pre-submitted. So, Wayne, any questions we can answer now? Well, we got a little bit more time.
Yeah, we got one that was, what are minions?
Minions are fake real people.
Yeah, that's what we always say, fake real people.
Yep. So instead of putting your wife or your son or daughter in and having them socially link, you just make up a person and have them socially link for you. Okay. That's the best way I can describe it.
Walt asked, but he's already worked it out. Is there a way to delete or archive alerts that appear with the bell? Right at the bottom of that grid, there's buttons to clear the alerts, and there's also buttons to, you can tick the ones, you can basically select them and remove them completely if you want.
Yep.
He's also dropped in a feature request, which we may consider, but it depends how it looks. It might be overwhelmed, but on the build tab, put any keyword filters that may be in effect. I should always on the build tab, but most people seem to go in the keyword filters tab once and then forget all about it. So we'll think about that one, but it may be a bit confusing having it on the last tab, but obviously it will only be a display. We could just say keywords are in effect as a label. Yep. On the build tab. So that might be an idea.
And Kevin asked a good question, and it was about custom domain setups and all that for local pages. If you have something like that, additional training, that if you don't find the training at all, put it in feature request. I mean, this is perfect place to use a feature request is additional training. We may have missed something. I've been told I sometimes forget things. So if you don't see it, come down here on dashboard and you want some additional training on something, put it under wish list. Okay. And you got a wish list and you can add it straight in here just by hitting the plus button. Okay. It's called feedback, but that's what it is. And you can also vote. Chat GPT, very good, very good. So more pre-selected feeds in the retirement. Okay, this is great suggestion, guys. I got a VA that can find RSS feeds better than I can. So, if you want more pre-made feeds, pre-selected feeds, let me know. We'll put them in there. Filter for minimum article length. Okay, snippet percentage. Okay, so a lot of good ideas. Vote for them if you like them, or add them yourself. Okay. Any other questions, Wayne?
No, I don't think so. All the links that we've put in today, I've made a document, so I'll put that link in as well.
Yep.
So you can go to a Google Doc, and all the information, all the links that I put in individually are in one place.
Yep. So you see it right here.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it, I think. Thanks, guys.
Guys, that's all we have today. We hope you enjoyed the call. And please use. We got everything out there for you to use for support, for a Zoom call, for a Facebook, and even a feature request. So we hope we can answer your questions. If not, there's many different ways to get them answered. Okay. Talk to you soon. And now Wayne and I will be on vacation starting tomorrow, basically, through to the following Tuesday or Wednesday, and we've noted it. So we're putting it out there that if you submit a support ticket, next week, you may not get it answered until the following week. Okay. So just keep that in mind. We want to get this out ahead of everybody. So you're not, putting, I had one person I think it was a troll, and they eventually quit RSSMasher, but we didn't get, they put in a post on Friday, a question on Friday, and we didn't get to it until Monday. And then they, gave us a black mark on Facebook or something like that, that dinged us there. So, keep this in mind. We're real people just like you. We use our tools. We hope that you use our tools, and, we're always here to help, but we gotta have some personal, we gotta balance our life just like we hope you do. Okay. Elaine, thank you. And we will talk to y'all in 2 weeks. We've got a very special Geek Out Friday for them. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.